It's November 5th. I'm right back in the same stand as yesterday. I ended up seeing 10 doe and 3 bucks yesterday. I had another doe coming real late, right at the end of legal, but it was starting to rain, so I had already packed up all the camera gear, and I had a couple more doe that were at the top of the plot, which I couldn't really film. There was just too many branches in the way, but it was overall a really good hunt yesterday. I pulled that trail cam card that I got over this mock scrape right below me on the way out, and there were some really good bucks on there. One really good buck and a couple other good bucks, that's what I should say. But October 30th, 31st, November 2nd, I think all had pictures of bucks working the scrape during daylight. So I don't have the best wind to hunt this stand today, but when I look back at the wind when those bucks hit it, it was on this northwest wind. It's pushing northwest north, but it's super light and variable, so it's swirling everywhere. What I'm going to need help is from the thermals to pull up, because it's such a light and variable wind, and I might be okay, but I'm just getting aggressive and I'm going for it. So I've never hunted this stand in a northwest wind or with the wind going this direction. We're going to give it a shot. November 5th. Hopefully today's the day we get it done. It's a nice cool morning, like 42 degrees I think it was, 43, somewhere around there, and the high is only like 48. Only gonna hunt just a half day, just the morning, so we're sit tight for a little while, and man, I hope we can get on a buck today, so stay tuned. just hit a big buck. Wasn't able to get any of it on camera. He popped out here, and by the time I saw him, he was already at 40 yards. Shot was a little high and back. He was at 30 yards when I shot him, quartering to a touch. I aimed right at the front of that shoulder, and he dropped on me. I tried to get low on that shoulder, and he took off running through this. Looked definitely like liver. I saw that arrow bury right to its fletching, so thankfully it's early, so 9:15. It's a big buck too. It's a good one. He was working right through the swamp here, and like I said, by the time I saw him, I started getting the camera around, and by that time it was too late. I had to draw because I'm a little more exposed on this side, so that stinks. That part I didn't get, but tell you, man, sometimes it doesn't matter. You think you got that pin buried right on the front of that shoulder. I tried to put it low, and it's amazing how fast they can turn and go. Well, I'll keep you guys posted.
So, since I didn't get any of that shot on film, I'm going to do a quick recap for you on how it all played out. So, I probably went over some of it, but he came in, I was looking the other way, and by the time I saw him, there was no way I was going to be able to get the camera around and to film him. So my stand is right there, which I probably should have brought the better camera. It's going to be tough to see in the GoPro. And he came through this thick swamp area, and that tree right there is the tree from my stand that I have to draw because I'm kind of exposed right there. So I drew back there, and he came around this clump right here and gave me a shot right there at 30 yards. And like I said, when I hit him, I knew the shot was a little high and back. It was actually worse than I originally thought. He dropped. One thing that annoys me is, like, I knew I had to get that pin buried low on the front of his shoulder, and I didn't. So, but some will say sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And the shot did the trick, I mean. So, stand. I thought I saw him or heard him crash. I couldn't really see because, as you see, it's super thick in here. So I got down after, waited about 2 hours just to be on the safe side. Knew it was a lethal hit, knowing that it was liver, but you know, sometimes a liver shot, they'll need at least 4 to 6 hours. But just the way he went down, and even though it was thick, it just sounded like he crashed, because I heard him and then there was silence. And then all that mayhem after with that identical looking buck chasing a doe made me question whether I even hit the deer or not. And I came over here, and there he laid. So, what did we say, Jeff? About 80 yards, we think? About 80 yards he went. And you can see that shot buried in him, but it was high back, a little bit quartering to me, and it did the trick. I guess that's all that counts. Now I got a beautiful double-browed 8-pointer. Yep. And now all the fun work begins. To the four-wheeler. Just kind of, I'm going to go over everything about just, you know, bring them out in the sunlight here. Take a really good look at them. Definitely this is my biggest buck to date. Not my widest. And he's got the mass of another one I shot here a few years back. But so the initial shot wasn't actually as bad as I originally thought. It definitely was high, but it went through, caught both lungs, and that's why he only went 80 yards and dropped. When I got up to him and saw the arrow, it looked like it was pointing back this way, but that arrow went straight down in, touch back. I was aiming for low of the front shoulder because he was quartering two a little bit, but man, I could not be any happier. This is a dandy of a buck. I have to look back to see if we got him on trail camera there. It was definitely a crazy hunt, and we've had some nice bucks like this on camera, but right after I shot this, 20 minutes later, I had another buck looked identical to this one come in, grunting and chasing a doe. So it was the craziest thing, because I thought it was him. I'm looking on both sides with the binos to see if there's any wounds in him, and there wasn't. But I did think I thought I saw him crash. It was just so thick in there, it was really tough to tell. So anyways, that's going to do it for the bow season of 2023. I couldn't be any happier with this beautiful 10-point, and we'll be back at it for gun season. So that's a wrap for bow.